का बहुत बहुत हमारे इस eFDP प्रोग्राम में, जिसका टेक्निकल सेशन 6 हम लोग आज शुरू करने जा रहे हैं। मैं सभी का स्वागत करता हूं हमारे इस कार्यक्रम के, इस eFDP प्रोग्राम के चेयरमैन डॉक्टर वीरेंद्र सिंह जी, को चेयरमैन डॉक्टर रमेश पाल जी, कृष्णपाल चौहान जी और सभी लोग, और विशेष रूप से हमारे आज के स्पीकर, हमारे आज के गेस्ट डॉक्टर टीपी सिंह सर का, वो हमारे बीच में आ चुके हैं, वो जुड़ चुके हैं हमसे, और बहुत जल्दी हम लोग अपना आज का विषय शुरू करेंगे। सो टुडेज टॉपिक इज मशीनरी फॉर स्मार्ट एग्रीकल्चर, स्कोप एंड चैलेंजेस, एंड वी हैव गॉट ए पर्सन हु इज नोन फॉर हिज रिसर्च, for the teaching, for the agriculture engineering in all over India. Professor T.P. Singh sir, he is basically from Gazipur, and he is graduated from Allahabad Agriculture Institute, deemed University Allahabad, which is presently known as Sam Higginbottom University of Agriculture, Technology and Sciences, Prayagraj. He did his MTech and PhD from Machinery and Power Engineering from S.V.B.P University of Agriculture and Technology, Pantnagar, in 1986 and 1995 respectively. He joined as assistant professor in the Department of Farm Machinery and Power Engineering at S.V.B.P University of Agriculture and Technology, Pantnagar in 1988. Dr. T.P. Singh sir has 34 years of teaching and research experience. He also worked as associate professor and head of the Department of Agriculture Engineering at Asmara University, Asmara, Eritrea, between 2003 to 6. He held various positions at S.V.B.P University, like head of the department, joint director extension, university librarian, warden, and coordinator agriculture engineering. He has a number of awards to his credit, like Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan Best Teacher Award, Eminent Engineer Award from Institute of Engineers, ISAE Fellow Award, ISAE Commendable Medal, ISAE Team Award. He was also elected as Director Technical Farm Machinery and Power for ISAE for the period 2015 to 18. So far, he has guided 15 MTech and 4 PhD students. He has traveled more than 5 countries to participate and present his papers in international conferences. He has developed a number of technologies, including very famous Pantnagar zero-till ferty-seed drill. And Dr. T.P. Singh sir is known for this invention in all over India for his Pantnagar zero-till ferty-seed drill, and also commercialized wheat thresher for a hilly region. He has more than 100 publications, including a book on farm machinery for B.Tech agriculture engineering students. He has currently taken new assignment as Director Research at Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel University of Agriculture and Technology, Meerut, on the deputation. So we have got today a person who is going with the equal pace in the area of research, in the area of extension, in the area of administration of the agriculture, education and research, and with the development of the innovative technology for the farmers. So today, please welcome Professor T.P. Singh sir. He is the Director of Research at Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel University of Agriculture and Technology, Meerut.
Thank you, Dr. Himanshu. I will, because of certain, technical problem, I will be rejoining in just few minutes.
Okay, no problem, sir. No problem, sir. So Professor T.P. Singh sir will be joining us in a couple of minutes. There is some technical problem. So I request to all the participants to join the session without any failure. And we have got some very important personalities with us as a participants, like Dr. R.S. Chauhan ji, Dhama ji, and Dr. Ravi Mishra ji is from Roorkee, and many other persons who are assistant professor, SMS, or working in the research field of the agriculture. So definitely, this is an important issue. We are going with this FDP program, like inclusion of innovative research in the education. And definitely, this is a very important issue we need to inculcate in our mind. So, with a couple of minutes, Dr. T.P. Singh sir will join us, and we will start our technical session.
Okay, now I'm ready. Should I share my presentations?
Yes, sir. Please, most welcome.
I'm trying, it's taking time.
No problem, sir. Sir, in the bottom menu bar, you will get a option present now, through which you can go to your slide.
हिमांशु इसमें allow करना होगा, I think.
No, sir. You need not to be allowed for that. You just go to the present now. There is an arrow in the box showing upwards facing.
वो कर दिया हमने.
Okay.
वो अभी आ नहीं रहा है, मतलब जो है.
अच्छा, आपने वो प्रेजेंटेशन अपनी इस पे डेस्कटॉप पे खोल लिया है ना पहले?
ओपन कर रखा है.
अच्छा. तो मुझे लगता है कुछ नेटवर्क का इशू होगा. ऐसे ही आ जाता है सर.
हाँ, आना तो ऐसे चाहिए. उसको दोबारा खोल देते.
एक बार उसको दोबारा से कर लीजिए. सर अभी स्क्रीन दिख रही है कि प्रेजेंट हो रहा है? अब वो पर्टिकुलर विंडो प्रेजेंटेशन वाली पिक करना होगा। Sir, it's visible now. We can see your slide, sir. हेलो सर, आप अनम्यूट कर लें अपने आप को।
दिखाई तो नहीं दे रहा है। दिखाई दे रहा है यहाँ पे प्रेजेंटेशन?
हाँ जी, आपकी स्लाइड्स दिखाई दे रही है सर, और अभी आपकी आवाज भी आ रही है, बस आपका वीडियो नहीं आ पा रहा है।
हाँ, एक्चुअली कैमरा सपोर्ट नहीं कर रहा है, कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो गई है।
ओके।
तो मैं ऐसे ही प्रेजेंट कर सकता हूँ?
हाँ जी सर, श्योर, नो प्रॉब्लम, वी कैन गो अहेड। आपकी स्लाइड अगर फुल स्क्रीन हो जाए तो बहुत अच्छा, अदरवाइज नो प्रॉब्लम, वी कैन गो।
हाँ, बिल्कुल हो सकता है। ठीक है, इज इट ओके नाउ? दिखाई दे रहा है?
हाँ सर, दिखाई दे रहा है। यस सर, प्लीज।
ओके, वीडियो में नॉट बी अवेलेबल क्योंकि वो कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, वीडियो सपोर्ट नहीं कर रहा कैमरा जो है। Technical hitch. I am presenting a talk on the machineries for smart agriculture, scope and challenges. Let us discuss about the use of machineries in agriculture. And basically with the term use of machineries in the agriculture, we define as mechanization. And this, if you go by definition, the mechanization is a process of improving farm labor productivity. That means any farm operation, right from tillage up to the harvesting, threshing, if you perform with the manual labor, then by the use of agricultural machineries or implement or a particular tool, you can increase the productivity of that farm labor, and that is called mechanization. So basically, machine is introduced in the farm operation or in farming operation to improve upon the person who is working or who is performing the task of agricultural operation. So his output or his, you can say, the effort, with least effort, he can perform more given task within less time. So that is how the mechanization is defined. Now, there are certain positive and negative of using machineries. There are more positive side. It actually increases the labor productivity. That means same labor can perform more job or more area can be covered in a given time. So that is how the machineries are helping the agricultural labor, or you can say the farm labor. Then reduction in human drudgery. When you perform certain farm operations, then within no time, if you don't have a proper tool, then you will feel fatigue. Very soon you will get tired. So the right machineries or appropriate machineries, if they are used, then there will be reduction in you can say the human drudgery. That is, the people can work for longer period of time with the same, you can say the energy input. Then thirdly, it is enhancing the dignity of farm power. or farm worker. This is just like if you ask a child to go to market, I mean, just by walking, so he may not like to go that, I mean, far distance, or even the market is very close, then he may not like to walk. But if you provide certain kind of, I mean, just like bike, if you ask them to take bike or car for purchasing something from the market, then he will feel very happy. So if you are having, suppose in case of farming, if you are having animal-based farming, so the youth of today, no one tries to do any farm operation with animal power. But if you provide them tractor, people will happily do the same job. So that is how the dignity of labor is defined in an indirect way. So the farm machines, they provide dignity of labor for doing a particular job. Then increasing the land productivity by doing the operations timely. That means within given time you can perform more tasks. Then quality and precision of farm operation, that can be done. Then with the use of appropriate machineries and efficient machineries, you can increase the cropping intensity. Cropping intensity means in a year, you can cultivate more than one crop. So with this, the overall income of the farmer may increase. So that is the land productivity. Through these three parameters, the productivity of the land can be increased by using the appropriate machineries. Then reduced cost of production with higher net return. A study was conducted here at Pantnagar comparing the two farming bases, one with the tractor-owned household and then another with animate power, that means animal-based farming. And it was found that the income, the farmer who was doing all his job farming with the help of tractor and tractor machineries, then he was getting almost 63% higher income than the farmer who was using only animate power, that is man and animals. So since you are completing all the job within time, timeliness is there, quality and precision is there. So because of that, the income of a tractor-based farming will be higher than an animal-based or an animate power-based farming. Increased resource utilization, that means whatever resources you are having in the form of input, that can be better utilized because you are placing at proper depth or at proper, you can say in proper manner. So wastage will be less, and because of that, the
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Slides are not moving forward.
I'm discussing the same one.
आप अभी पहली स्लाइड पे ही है ना सर? हाँ, तब बहुत अच्छा है. मुझे लगा कि कहीं ऐसा
नहीं, इसमें टाइटल जो है पॉजिटिव ऑफ मैकेनाइजेशन.
That is very good. Okay, sir. Please.
Then less chances of crop damage due to unpredictable weather. आप कोई भी मशीन जल्दी यूज करेंगे, naturally you can perform the job very quick, and because of that the damage of the crop there is less chance. Then employment generation in agricultural machinery industry, that is when you are using machinery, more and more manufacturers will be there to supply those machineries, and that is how the industry will come up related to the agricultural machineries, and people will get employment in that. There are certain, very few, you can say, the negative impact of mechanization. Use of fossil fuel, that means the fuel that you are using, like the diesel and petrol, that will be used for manufacturing and distribution of the farm machineries. So this is one drawback, that your dependency is on fossil fuel. Of course, nowadays a lot of research is being done on alternate fuels. So one can go with the operation of prime movers on alternate fuels. But basically, diesel and petrol, these are the two prime, I mean, you can say the fuel sources. And majority of the prime movers, they are operated on this. So there is still dependency on these fossil fuels for manufacturing and distribution of farm machineries. Then it causes unemployment or underemployment. There is a, you can say, the notion that the machinery will displace the manpower, but actually this study has been done that because of the tractorization, introduction of more and more tractor, the animal powers, the animals, they have been displaced from the agriculture up to 60%. But in case of difficult area, like in hilly regions, the tractor is unable to replace because the tractor cannot go to those hilly terrain. So there's no question of displacement of even the animal power. Animal powers are still being, used in hilly terrains. And manpower displacement is less than 15% because the people will find in other sector, a job in other sector. So the displacement of manpower is very less than 15%. Then mechanical injury, there are certain machineries, they have termed as hazardous machineries, and they come under hazardous act. So because of that, if the operator is not very careful, then mechanical injury will be there, and sometimes there is loss of life also. Then pollution of soil and groundwater through agrochemical buildup and runoff. This could be one of the possibility if we are applying chemical in blanket form without thinking of the judicious use, then that will be a problem. And then it may lead to debt in farming because when you are purchasing, if you are taking loan for purchase of that, and if you are not using the machineries or even the tractor in a wise manner, then naturally it is going to create a problem. But the positive side is more than its negative side. Now, what is the sequence of mechanization? Based on the preferences, we have three preferences: the first preference, average, and last preference. This is basically on the parameter that how much attention one has to pay for a particular operation. So the first preference, normally as a human being, we try to go for those operations where least botheration is there. You can ask any illiterate person to do the job and he will do the job with those machineries. So they come under the first preference, like tillage, transport, water pumping, milling, threshing, etc. That means for these operations, you need not to have a person with very high skill. इससे क्या होगा, unskilled person will also will do because these are not very precise operations. So because of that, when you go for mechanization, these are the operations where people will adopt these machineries first. Then comes the average preference, where medium level of power input and control is required. That is seeding, spraying, interculture operation, and similar operations. Here, if you have to have, then you can have semi-skilled persons who can perform these tasks without you can say going with very fine precision. So these are the operation where people will like to move in the second step. And the last preference, which is of course the talk of you can say the topic of today lecture. A very high degree of precision is required. So in that case, very high degree of control is required without having, you can say, the minimum power input. And these area like transplanting, if you are going for transplanting of rice with machinery, all the machines, they will not be able to transplant machine in all type of fields. You need certain special type of, you can say, the requirement. What I mean, very precise machines are there, and for these operations we need very precise equipment. Planting of vegetables, then harvesting of fruits and vegetables. These are the area we have not touched even. So these are, when you give an option, then people will like to go for the simplest one first, then simpler one, and then the difficult one they will take up in the last. So is the case with the mechanization sequence. This is the economic advantage of mechanization. If you are using machineries for agricultural operations, then the increase in productivity is there from 12 to 34%, saving of seed, saving of fertilizer 15 to 20%, then saving in time and labor 20 to 30%, enhancement in cropping intensity 5 to 22%, and increase in gross income of the farmer has been reported between 29 to 49%. So merely by using a particular machine, appropriate machine for agricultural operation, you are going to gain these percent saving in time, fertilizer or inputs, you can say, and overall there will be gain in income. So we come to certain the facts. In India, we are roughly 1.3 billion as of today, and total when you consider the world population, we are 18% of the world population. We have less than 3% arable land, cultivated land, and about 2% of water. We are bestowed with 15 agroclimatic zones. These 15 agroclimatic zones have been subdivided into 17 subzones, and we have 46 soil types. That means we are going to get year-round cultivation of any type of the crop. We are second largest producer of wheat, rice, groundnut, tea, fruits, vegetable, and many more the commodity. By 2050, it is expected that will grow by 1.65 billion, and the demand of food grain will be around 400 metric ton to feed these population. The one thing is very, clear that we are going to have a smaller and smaller land availability for cultivation. It is going to be around 0.09 hectare only per head, and urbanization level will increase over 55%. That means people will move from rural area. They will not engage themselves into the farming business. More and more people will try to move out of agricultural sector into the urban area. So this is the GDP contribution of agriculture and allied sector. And say earlier, 1950, before mechanization era, the contribution was around 52%, but nowadays 2021 figure shows contribution about 20.2% only in national GDP. This is the production, food grain production and horticulture production. And we are able to produce about 308 million tons of food grain and roughly 330 million tons of horticultural produce. Then you can see the productivity, that is per unit production of food grain. This is for the wheat, rice, coarse cereal, and oilseed pulses. We have been able to maintain almost flat. But when you compare it from the 1950-51, you can say the pre-independence era, then the productivity was very low, but now the productivity has gone up, especially for the wheat, it is 3.5 metric ton per hectare. And for pulses, it is, of course, it is little less, 0.9. This is the irrigated areas. You can see we have almost a flat, almost 139.2 million hectare area. And out of this, about 49.93%, close to 50% area is irrigated one, and remaining one is, you can say, rain-fed. We don't have provision for irrigating those area, 50% of the area. The production, mechanization versus productivity, you can see if you are engaging more input power, the production is going to be more. See, earlier in 1967, there was one tractor over 1,800 hectare. Then it came to around 36 hectare, one tractor commanding 36 hectare. This is figure of 2010. Still, I mean, it will be currently it will be around 25 or 26 hectare per tractor. Majority of the tractors. So actually, the production of tractor is annual production. If you see, it is around or little over 7 lakhs number. But majority of the tractors, they are not being put to agricultural operation. वो सारे जो ट्रैक्टर हैं कहीं ना कहीं और दूसरे फार्म में यूज हो रहे हैं. Here you can see how the productivity and the power availability at the farm. This is not overall power availability, but power availability at the farm. Agricultural operations के लिए कितना available है. This you can see in 2021 it is around 2.76 kilowatt per hectare, and with that,
सर आपकी स्लाइड्स फर्स्ट स्लाइड ही शो हो रही है सर, और आगे जो आप बोल रहे हैं ना सर वो शो नहीं हो रहा है सर.
नहीं, ये अभी टॉपिक ये दिखाई दे रहा है मैकेनाइजेशन.
जी 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 सर.
ये ग्राफ देख सकते हैं अभी?
नहीं सर. नो सर. सर फर्स्ट स्लाइड शो हो रही है
केवल फर्स्ट
स्लाइड शो हो रही है सर.
अच्छा, केवल फर्स्ट हो रही है.
आगे मूव.
Actually, sir, I can see there is a line on your PPT that PowerPoint has not been activated to keep using PowerPoint without interruption activate before 6 November 2022.
Just a minute. ये ऐसे दिखाई दे रहा है?
Yes, now visible, sir.
Okay.
मैं ऐसे ही दिखा दूं, मतलब वो हो सकता है कि PowerPoint में कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है.
हाँ, ठीक है सर, अच्छी बात है.
Should I repeat from the beginning?
सर अगर एक बार स्लाइड्स दिखा देंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा.
मैं बताता हूँ कहाँ से दिखाई नहीं दिया था. यहाँ से.
हाँ जी.
Yes sir, यही से सर, यही से.
Oh, I'm sorry. See, this is the positive point listed for the plus point of mechanization, increasing labor productivity. Then reduction in human drudgery. आवाज सुनाई दिया था आप लोगों को पूरा?
Yes sir, yes sir.
अच्छा, just quickly I'll go through these points. So reduction in human drudgery with least input, I mean effort, you can perform the same job easily. Then enhance dignity of farm worker. That means if you provide certain kind, if you want to attract youth in agriculture, then you have to provide certain kind of machinery, tractors, so that they feel happy, I mean, while doing the same job. So that is how dignity is defined. Then you have land productivity. Land productivity, how you can increase by this can be done by timeliness of operation. That means when you are performing any operation within given time, you can perform that. Then quality and precisely you can do that job, and you can increase the cropping intensity. That means annually you can increase or you can cultivate more than 2 crops. So with this, the productivity of a land, since the land is limited with the farmer, or per head availability of, you can say, the land is limited. So within that given land, you can cultivate more to enhance your income. Then reduction in cost of production. There was a study that if we are comparing two set of, I mean, you can say the farming basis, one with the animal power and another with the tractor power, then it was observed that the farmer who was doing farming with tractor and associated machineries, then he was getting 63% higher income than the farmer who was cultivating or who was farming only with animal and manpower. So that is how the cost of actually this will widen the gap between the input cost and the profit. इससे जो है ज़्यादा आपको फायदा मिलेगा. Then increasing resource utilization, whatever the resources are there in the form of fertilizer, seed, fuel, that you can utilize in a better manner, and that is how the utilization efficiency will increase. Then lesser chances of crop damage due to unpredictable weather. You know that if you are using the machinery, then a given task can be done with lesser time, and there will be less chance that the crop will get damaged because of the unpredictable weather or untimely rain storm. Then employment generation in agricultural machinery industry, because of the more and more use of machinery, there will be more demand, and manufacturer will come into picture for producing those, you can say, the machineries. So people are going to get employment in that particular sector. So these are the positive side of the mechanization. A negative side, your dependency will be there on the fossil fuel, that is diesel and petrol. Then the tractorization, especially the people say that because of the mechanization, there will be displacement of man and animal. Of course, it is true. In a study, it has been found that about 60% of the animal power has been displaced from the agriculture. That is, tractor has displaced them, or rather, it has replaced the animal power. And as far as the replacement of manpower is concerned, only less than 15% people have been displaced, and they have found job in other sector. So it is not that when the mechanization increases, 100% of the animal power or manpower will be displaced. Because in certain terrain, difficult terrain like hilly terrain, northeast में जैसे or the hilly region of the states with hilly terrain, there since tractorization cannot be done or tractors cannot be introduced there because of the specific terrain, difficult terrain. So there is still no use of animal power and manpower will be there in farming. Then mechanical injuries, of course, machineries are there. If you operate them carelessly without paying much attention, then there will be chance of mechanical injury and sometimes even loss to the life. Then pollution will be there, of course, if you are not using the chemicals and other inputs properly with the machine, then naturally the pollution to soil and ground will be there. And if you are purchasing the machineries just by taking loan, and if you are not utilizing those machinery properly, just like if you are using a tractor throughout the year, means at least it should be 1,000 hours per year at least. So if you are using a tractor for 1,000 hours in a year, then it will be, you can say you are going to use it properly. Otherwise, less than that, it is underutilization. And because of that, you won't be able to recover the cost of that particular machine. And in that case, naturally, you'll be in debt. Then sequence of mechanization. This is based on the liking of a particular person. Majority of the person. If you have to choose between the difficult and simple work, then majority of the people will try to choose the operation which is simplest one. So if you are using this, the first preference in case of mechanization will be for those machinery which are being used for the tillage operation, for transport, for water pumping, milling, threshing. And for this, you need not to have very skilled operators. Even unskilled operators will do the job. Then average preference will be given to those operations or machineries which are going to be engaged for seeding, spraying, interculture operation. So here medium level of power input and control is required. So semi-skilled persons will do the job fine here. And last preference, that is the toughest job or the job which are of very precise nature. This is given last preference, or people will like to choose this kind of machinery in the last, because these machinery will be expensive, and they will require special training on that. So the machineries which can perform transplanting job, planting of vegetable, harvesting of fruit and vegetables, these are the area where more precision is required and high degree of attention is required. So this is based on the preference of a person, how is how is going to buy or own the machinery. Then these are the economic advantage of mechanization, that by using the various kind of machineries, you will be able to increase productivity by 12 to 34%, saving of seed, fertilizer, time and labor to the tune of 15 to 30%, increasing cropping intensity 5 to 22%, and net income may be around 3 to 50% increase because of the use of machineries. This is the data regarding population of the country. We are almost about 1.38 billion, which is approximately 18% of the world population. We have less than 3% cultivable land and 2% of water. We have 15 agroclimatic zones, and these 15 agroclimatic zones have been subdivided into 72 subzones and 46 soil types we have. That means all the, throughout the year, you are going to have certain crops in a particular pocket. So with this, we can cultivate any crop throughout the year. Then we are producer of wheat, rice, groundnut, tea, fruits, vegetable, and sugarcane. We are at second position. Then it is expected that by 2050, the population will grow by 1.65 billion. In order to feed this population, we have a food grain demand of 400 million tons, and then average land holding, the size of land is shrinking day by day because of the population explosion, and it is expected that it will be very small by that time, that is 0.09 hectare only per head, and urbanization level will increase more than 55%. That means people from agricultural sector will move to urban sector for want of job. This is the contribution of agriculture and allied sector into the national GDP, and we are contributing about 20% into the national GDP. This is the food grain production and productivity of this is the red line. You can see it is for the horticultural produce, and the blue one is for the food grain production. It is around 300 average, you can say 309 million ton and 330 million tons for the horticultural produce. The lower graph shows the productivity, the production of a particular crop per unit area. And if you compare with pre-independence era, 1950-51, at that time it was very less, and now it has moved because of the mechanization and use of other inputs like high yielding varieties, more fertilizer accessibility, good chemicals. Because of those reasons, the productivity has increased. But in this contribution of farm mechanization or farm machinery cannot be undermined. It is already, there. This is net sown area and net irrigated area. Almost 50% of till date, you can say 17-18 data is there. Around 50% area is irrigated, and about, you can say little higher than 50% is still don't have proper facility for irrigation. I'll skip this one. This is the farm power availability in Indian on the Indian farm. You can see earlier in 60-61, it was the farm power availability was 0.301 through all the sources, right from the electricity source, from the prime mover which is running on the diesel and petrol. So from all the sources, the power availability on the farm, it was 0.3 kilowatt per hectare, which has gone up by 2.76 kilowatt per hectare. That is an increase of about 817%. And because of that, we cannot say that because of only power availability, but because of other factors also, we have been able to produce more and more. That is, productivity has increased. But we can see that there is a positive correlation between the farm power availability and the productivity level, which is in ton per hectare. So the power availability on Indian farm, it is 2.76 only kilowatt per hectare. When you compare it with Japan and Korea, we are we are lagging behind, far we are lagging behind. In Japan, it is around 13 kilowatt per hectare, and Korea, it is 8 kilowatt per hectare. In order to produce more food grain production by 2030, at least the power availability on the farm, it must increase from 2.7 to up 4 kilowatt per hectare. This is the farm availability, farm power availability in hilly states. Here, the state, it is very poor. I mean, you can say the power availability, it is just 1 kilowatt. In Uttarakhand, 0.7, in Himachal Pradesh, Jammu Kashmir, around 0.92, and northeast hilly regions, it has got only very, I mean, you can say the very less power availability is there, 0.6 kilowatt only. And these are other figure you can see here. But when you compare with Punjab, you just compare, you can see here, Punjab has got highest power availability of 4.25 kilowatt per hectare, which is much higher than the national average. And if you compare the northeast or hilly regions, it is at least higher than 4 times. This is the mechanization level of some of the countries. See here, in US, almost all the operations, you can say 95% mechanization level is there. For USA, for Europe, for Russia, it is 85%, for Brazil, 75%, China, 50%, and our is 40%. With all means, we have been able to mechanize only our operations 40% only. See, this is the breakup. You can see overall mechanization level 40%. In some of the crops, rice, seed bed preparation, if you see seed bed preparation, we have almost up to 70% we have mechanized. For wheat also, we have mechanized 70%. For maize, for sorghum, oilseed, and sugarcane. So overall, it is 40%. See, planting here, for rice, we don't have any mechanical means to transplant the rice, or we have not mechanized sowing and planting operation for rice. It is only 20%. But wheat, it is up to 60%. That means dry land cultivation, still, I mean, mechanization level is higher. But when you compare wetland cultivation, it is very meager, 20% only. Sugarcane, see, we are doing it manually. Only 10% mechanization level is there. Few people are using, you can say, the reader for opening the furrow. But they are not using the planters even, which are available in the market. So it is very low level. So you can see these harvesting and threshing has been mechanized for rice, wheat by large. But you can see for other crops, for sorghum, millets, for oil seeds, for sugarcane, it is only 10%. So overall, if you compare, the mechanization level is very low. It is 40% only. This is the number of operational land holding. You can see here, this is based on the 15-16 census. and the average size operational holding for marginal and small farmer, that is less than 1 hectare and less than or between 1 to 2 hectare, it is 0.38 and 1.41 hectare available with the small and marginal farmers. National average is 1.08 only, and about 86% farmers, they fall under the category of marginal and small farmer. That means they have area or land holding less than 2 hectare per head. This is if you see compare, the land holding based on the 2005-6 census, 10-11 and 15-16. You can see the increase in marginal land holding. That means area less than 1 hectare, the people having less than 1 hectare area, they are around 69%, about 69%. See, the lower figure shows how the land is shrinking per head basis. From 70-71, it was 2.3 hectare, but now it has gone to 1.018. That means if you consider up to date 2021 or 2022, this figure will be still lower. Then this is the land holding pattern in hilly states, and there the average land holding of Uttarakhand, in this state we have 0.28 hectare only. So what I mean to say that day by day the land availability is shrinking, and because of that the available land for cultivation is going down and down. See, these are the unit operations, how we are going to perform these basic operations and what kind of machinery we are using. We are still using conventional type of machines. We are not using any smart machineries for what you call for smart agriculture. Majority of the conventional tools, machinery, they are being used for the land preparation for sowing, planting, interculture, plant protection, and harvesting, threshing, transportation. For all these, we are using conventional, and that is how the mechanization level is 40%, not more than that. This is the technological intervention for improving agricultural production. If you use these kind of improved machineries for performing these operations, seeding, seed quality, chemical application. So because of these, how much increase you can expect. See, just by chemical application, suppose there is an attack of insect and pest, or the crop is deficient of certain chemicals or nutrient, then just by applying that, the expected increase is 50 to 500%. अगर किसी चीज में रोग लग गया है, अगर टाइमली आपने अप्लाई नहीं किया कोई केमिकल, तो आप बिल्कुल क्रॉप फेल हो जाता है, जीरो, मतलब आपको कुछ मिलता ही नहीं है. So this particular sector, the chemical application and the water management, these two are the area which has got better impact. कि अगर उसको आप टाइमली करते हैं, then the increase is expected between 50 to 500, maximum 500%. These are some of the machineries used for the basic operations, conventional and versus improved machineries. What is being used and what should be used. Then we'll just go through some basic machineries. These are the machinery used for tillage operation. You can say the moldboard plow. People are hardly using moldboard plow, but it should be used for residue coverage. जो problem आजकल की हो रही है पराली जलाने की, what one can do that after combine harvesting, the moldboard plow should be used so that you can completely bury the you can say the residue which is left on the top under the soil, so that proper decay is there. Then this is the offset disc harrow that is very common with the farmer. Rotavator, it has become very common nowadays for wet and dry land cultivation, different sizes and different kind. Of course, one should use the matching tractor. इसके साथ जब भी आप यूज करेंगे तो देखिए it has got different rotor size, so it should be matched with a proper prime mover or proper tractor. Then only you can get optimum result or proper result. Otherwise, fuel economy will not be there. ये ऑपरेशन देख सकते हैं, इन ए सिंगल और 2 ऑपरेशन द सॉइल विल बिकम, you can sow the field in just 2 operations maximum. Then this is the sowing operation resource conservation machinery, and this was developed at Pantnagar, and that is how we call it Pantnagar 0 till 40 seed drill. It was developed for wheat sowing after just after rice harvest. You can see one machine is operation along with it. A baler is there which can utilize which can collect the loose straw and the anchored one. You can see ये जो इसमें rice का straw है, which is anchored one, जो जमीन से लगा हुआ है. We found that up to 30 to 40 centimeter height straw, it is not going to create any problem with this machine. तो residue burning की जो problem हो रही है, you can use this machine after removal or after baling of loose residue. Then strip tilling, another residue, you can say the conservation tillage machinery. It will save 70 to 80% time, labor, cost, diesel, and energy, and 10 to 12% higher yield is expected in this, and you can have higher benefit to cost ratio. Even the energy efficiency will be higher as compared to the conventional one. But people are not using this particular machine. In spite of more and more demonstration at farmers' field. Happy seeder and nowadays super seeder, these are the 2 machineries which can be utilized without removal of the loose straw, and directly one can sow the wheat crop just after harvesting the rice. And because of use of this, government is putting lot of emphasis, putting lot of money for this kind of machinery, so that the crop residue burning or crop residue management is in a better manner can be achieved. So these machineries, another machine which has been developed at Pantnagar, this is powered vertical disc plow, and this will also conserve the, you can say the resources. 2 or 3 operation of this power disc harrow will prepare the field, and with this you can say the seeding device, you can directly sow the wheat in field, in the prepared field. So the crop you can see both in tilled and untilled condition. Then these are the harvesting. You can say the machines available, power tiller operated reapers. If you are utilizing this particular one, then naturally the crop residue burning or management of crop residue will not be a problem, because you are harvesting the whole crop from the ground level, and because of that there won't be a question of crop residue. The remaining, you can say the crop residue can be converted into bhusa to feed the animals. Reaper binder used for harvesting the wheat crop. This is not very suitable for the harvesting of rice crop, because what we have observed that mold formation is there because of the high moisture content of the crop. So it is very good for the wheat harvesting, but not for other crops. Then this combined harvester, majority of the time people are using for harvesting rice and wheat. Straw reaper for recovery of the retrieval of the bhusa, or you can say the loose straw, and that loose straw can be converted into bhusa. I'll be taking little more time. कोई problem तो नहीं है अभी?
No problem, sir. No problem.
हाँ, थोड़ा सा वो slide actually नहीं हो पाया पहले का. I'll go hurry. I'll take try to finish early. Then field balers are there. If you want to recover the loose straw, then 2 kind of balers are available in the market. Which can produce rectangular bale and round bales. Actually, rectangular bale type baler, they are more popular in our country because they are suitable for smaller fields, whereas round balers, they are for the large field. If you are having 300 to 1,000 acres of land, then its operation will be more economical. And of course, the weight of that bale will be much higher. This is a rectangular baler which is available from the class. The manufacturer of combine and the tractor. यहाँ से हो सकता है इस बेलर को हम लोग ज़्यादा यूज करते हैं because the weight of the bale size, you can say, it will be around 30 kg, which can be easily handled and can be loaded easily. See, you can see the operation of a field baler, which can retrieve the loose straw, and just after this, you can operate the 0 till 40 seed so that you can go ahead with the wheat sowing without preparation of seed bed. See, this can perform per hectare. This will recover 70 bales of 30 kg each. So this is how 2 tons per hectare you can recover the straw. This is the round bale, and it is quite, you can say, the large size of bales are produced in it. And of course, for loading and unloading of these bales, you require special loaders. Then hay rakes are available for raking or for making windrow of the loose material. Loose, you can say, the straw. These are the field rakes doing the same job. It will rake the material, loose material, and it will form a line so that you can operate field balers to densify those material to be kept in a smaller space. This is field chopper, straw chopper, that will be used for chopping the. Just after combining, you can chop it so that it becomes of a smaller size, so that you can say that during tillage operation, this can be mixed easily with the soil. The same in operation. Then straw chopper or rotary slasher we have. This again can be used for, normally this was developed for sugarcane ratooning. उस crop में ratoon crop में चलाने के लिए किया गया था as a stubble shaver, but this can also be used for chopping the stubbles of rice and wheat also. Then post hole digger for forestry, you can see the work. Then similarly double post hole digger. This can be used for planting of sugarcane also in trench method. Then glandulous planter, we have developed glandulous planter here, and for planting of glandulized bulb. And in this case, precision is required. Very much precision is required so that it can drop the bulb, glandulous bulb at required spacing. इसमें हम लोगों ने कोशिश किया, but we have not been able to achieve very precision. But this need for further research on it. Then tomato seed extractor. Then hurriedly I'll go with some of the equipment used for the hilly region. This is Pauli Nasuda or hilly plow. Then this is developed by the Sikkim Center. Wedge plow. Then Pauli Damala for puddling operation. See, you can how difficult it is puddling the field in hilly terrain with this kind of. People have to bend. They have to walk in bent posture. So a lot of you can see the drudgery will be there. जल्दी से थक जाएंगे कोई भी अगर इस तरह से काम करेगा तो. Then for puddling operation, some more type of, you can say, the tools have been developed. This is for again preparing puddled field using local, you can say, the leveler they call it dade. This is in Sikkim area. Wedge plow. Then disc harrow cum puddler. This is for seedbed preparation. Then clod crusher. This is the conventional wooden type. इससे जो है हथौड़ी की तरह चला करके तोड़ते हैं. So the Pantnagar Center has developed a clod crusher which can be operated manual with the help of animal power. ये clod crush करने के लिए. ये कुछ ये ICR 6-in-1 animal drawn tillage outfit है. एक में लगा करके आप कई अलग अलग गैजेट्स को जैसे इसमें जोड़ते जाएंगे, and you can perform different type of operations. The same in operation. Then smaller, you can say the power tiller or roto tillers are available for weeding as well as for seedbed preparation. उन्हीं के सब आप देख सकते हैं, अलग अलग तरीके के हैं. Then mini tractors are available. They can be utilized for seedbed preparation, especially in difficult terrains. Sowing operation for broadcasting. People are broadcasting manually, but if you are using this particular gadget, centrifugal broadcaster, then uniformity will be there in broadcasting. This is small, you can say the seed drill or planters, they have been developed, which can be operated manually as well as animal-based farming. Maize planter. Then Pantnagar zero till 40 seed drill for the for animal power. Wheat is sown. Wheat has been sown, or you can say the planted with this. Then this is the roto till drill. This can perform the sowing, seedbed preparation and sowing in a single trip. Then paddy seeding. You can use transplanter as well as paddy seeder. Sprouted seeds are available with, sprouted seed can be dropped in puddled field. So this can be used for paddy cultivation. Here you can see the rice drum seeder of different size with 2 drum and with this is with 6 drum. Of course, it is made from light material, so it can be carried easily. Wheat or buckwheat के लिए planter है. Then for maize, then for interculture operation, then these are different kind of wheel hoe and power weeder for weeding in narrow as well as wide row spacing crops. Mono weeder for rice weeding. This is for vegetables and soybean cultivation. You can go with powered weeder, self-propelled weeders. And this is of course for wide row spacing crops. This is Danala and local wooden Danala, and this is improved one. Power weeder again, this can be utilized for weeding operation. Different kind of sickles, improved one. Then again, self-propelled power tiller reaper, vertical, of course they are VCR, they are called vertical conveyor reaper. Then threshing, how the threshing operation takes place in the hilly region, the traditional way. Still you can see, we have developed a small thresher and this has been commercialized for hilly region. This is under manufacturing. This is a multi-crop thresher developed in the department. This is commercially available 5 HP small threshers. This is for rice threshing. This is how the winnowing is done in the hilly region of Uttarakhand. Same people are dependency is there on natural wind. So we have developed a power, pedal operated winnowing fan. Maize sheller. This is for Madua and Ragi. This is potato digger. Then a small, you can say we have developed a Panth hill yoke. This is weighing around 3 kg only, and this can be put on the neck of a smaller, you can say the hilly bullocks. This is horticultural and forestry equipment. Now we come to a few slides about the smart agriculture. Basically, when we are talking of smart agriculture or smart farming, this is basically a management concept, and what gadgets or what tools we are using for management of farming smartly. Nowadays, we are talking of big data about the cloud and Internet of Things. These gadgets, or you can say this technology, advanced technology, they are, the government is trying to put more focus on these aspects just to increase the agricultural productivity so that the food production is more and we can support more and more people. We can provide sufficient food for them. Then increasing farmers' income and better utilization of the resources. Whatever resources and input resources you are utilizing for farm operations, they can be utilized in better manner. The advanced technology for farming of tomorrow, it will include robotics, sensor-based gadgets, aerial imaging technology, so that you can image, you can plan the a particular field with deficiency. कहाँ पे nutrient की deficiency है और कहाँ पे rich है, so that accordingly you can apply variable rate nutrient or fertilizer. Then GPS-based technology and similar advanced devices for precision agriculture, artificial intelligence, use of CAD/CAM, and remote monitoring of crop using sensor-based technologies. So we are we are trying to focus on these particular aspects. अब हमारी आगे की जो strategy होगी, government is trying, जो भी कर रहे हैं कि हम smart agriculture या smart farming की बात कर रहे हैं, those farming operation or farm mode of or you can say the form of cultivation will include or will not all of them, but few of them will be used in those concepts. And this will, of course, if you are using them, then the farming is going to be more profitable, it will be more efficient, and it will be more safe as well as environmental friendly. Then advanced, what we are using now today, we have introduced automated tractors. Tractors, you can say driverless tractors have been introduced in the market, though they are not very popular, but but it has been commercialized. If one किसी को अगर खरीदने की जरूरत है, then he can own that particular tractor. Of course, it is costing, it is much expensive at this stage, but ये हमारे future का हो सकता है. Then precision planting machines, we have sensor-based pesticide application, including drones. इनके थ्रू जो है हम pesticide chemical application कर रहे हैं. And automated irrigation system, sprinkler हैं या माइक्रो या कह लीजिए कि ड्रिपर्स हैं, दे आर ऑटोमेटिक कंट्रोल्ड और दे आर ऑटोमेटेड. तो इनका यूज हम जो है आज की डेट में कर रहे हैं. बट इफ यू वांट जो पहले इसकी स्लाइड हमने डिस्कस किया, दोज टेक्नोलॉजी विल बी ऑफ फ्यूचर जनरेशन. CAD/CAM का यूज हम क्यों कर सकते हैं? बिकॉज यूजिंग दिस CAD and CAM computer aided designing and manufacturing, what you can do, you can minimize the wastage of material as well as सभी पार्ट जो होंगे एक तरह के होंगे, so that interchangeability of components will be there as per the BIS norm. आज की डेट में हमको पता है कि कोई भी मशीनरी विदाउट टेस्टिंग के लिए सब्सिडी पे नहीं जाएगी. So in that case, those machineries which are meant for subsidy purpose, their component or they should meet the BIS parameters. तो ये जरूरी है कि आप जो है CAD/CAM का यूज करें smartly, so that you can minimize the wastage and you can produce the standard quality of the components as well as machine, and so that their interchangeability of components becomes easy. See some of the efficiency of some of the machineries like tillage, it ranges between 75 to 90. ये इनके देख सकते हैं efficiency है, and the efficiency of machinery will depend upon width of cut, speed of operation and time that you are utilizing. ये 3 पैरामीटर हैं. Now the researchable issue is that कि अगर इसमें से मान लीजिए कि अगर हमने कोई भी पैटर्न लिया center to side or side to center, इसमें अगर if we are able to minimize the overlap, केवल overlap को minimize कर दें, then the efficiency of that particular machine will increase. Now how you are going to minimize the overlap? उसके लिए जो है आपको some kind of sensor based gadget should be there which can sense the soil, tilled soil and untilled soil. तभी जा करके अगर sense कर सकता है, then accordingly we can maneuver the tractor so that there will be minimum or no overlap. अगर no overlap होगा, zero overlap होगा, then naturally the efficiency of that particular tillage machinery will be higher than what I showed. 70 to 90% की जगह और ज़्यादा हो सकता है. So this is one of the researchable area where we can do some kind of research so that to solve this problem. Another will be there that the tractor which is being operated, if it is having some kind of microchip control, so that it calibrates the load and speed of operation, then because of that we will be able to drive the tractor at more or less uniform speed, fuel efficiency uski better hogi, and then uniform depth of operation. Till now we don't have any gadget associated with the depth control of the tractor which can give you uniform depth of operation, क्योंकि यही चीज जो है प्रॉब्लम आपको जो है सीटिंग में भी आएगी, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द फर्मनेस ऑफ द सॉइल, ये मशीन या तो नीचे चली जाती है या फिर ऊपर रह जाता है. So you need some kind of, you can say, the mechanism which can provide without, you can say, the irrespective of the terrain of the surface, it can provide uniform depth of operation or uniform rate of movement of the tractor. तो उससे क्या होगा कि एक तो फ्यूल की इकोनॉमी अच्छी होगी, and then the overall you can say the efficiency of that machine will increase. Then this is seeding and planting equipment जो हम लोग conventionally that we are using, the fluted roller and cell type. Now the question is of if you are using precise, expensive, you can say these seeds, then singulation is another, researchable area where you can put single seed at required spacing. तो इसके लिए बहुत जरूरी है till we are performing this thing through this kind of cell type seed metering device. ये सेल हमारे कितने accurate हैं, and accordingly it will take either one seed or two seed and drop it at a regular interval. But if you want very correct, you can say the spacing of seed with single seed, it is not possible to be achieved by this kind of mechanism. So again, research is required to be done for singulation of seed कि एक seed केवल गिरे, proper depth पे गिरे, furrow opener जो है choke ना हो, and then variable rate application of chemical fertilizer. That means depending upon it, once you map the field for the nutrient availability, so as per the nutrient availability at a particular site, आप चाहें तो वहाँ पर ज़्यादा chemical दे सकते हैं या कम chemical दे सकते हैं. So these are the researchable area which associated with the planting of seed or crop. We tried to some extent, एक हम लोगों ने machine बनाया था, and based on infrared sensor, and you can see here this is ground wheel with infrared sensor. इसमें हम लोगों ने लगाया था, and then we tried to test that machine in the laboratory. This is the stepper motor which will be driving the metering device here. We have tested for okra, bindi के लिए और cowpea के लिए. This is the machine in the field operation. I'll show you the result. This is the machine planting the okra or bindi in the field. See here the performance. The target was 15 centimeter, 30 centimeter, and 45 centimeter. The observed spacing in the field, it was 15.3, 15.2, and 15.3. You can see very less variation is there. For 30 centimeter spacing, we were getting almost 31, you can say the centimeter. And for 45 centimeter, it was 45.2, 45.1, 45.4, 46 point in the occasional cases. It was little higher. Otherwise, very precisely, it was able to place the seed. This is similarly for the cowpea. 12.5 target tha, 6.3 centimeter target. And you can see here, at a different speed, it was 12.48, that is 5, you can say, 12.42, then 6.27, 6.2, how closely, how precisely it is able to place the seed. But this invention, or you can say this development, is still in the laboratory. We were not able to commercialize it because there is no manufacturer coming forward for this. and there is no taker of this, there is no user of this. तो ये जरूरी है कि जो हम आगे मशीन जो डिवाइस करें with the use of smart techniques, there should be manufacturer for that and there should be user of that. This is sitting in pro trace. This will require very high degree of precision and accuracy. ये भी करने की जरूरत है. This is again still at laboratory stage. बहुत ज़्यादा ये अभी commercialize नहीं हुआ है. Sugarcane planting जैसे एक area है जहाँ mechanization level is very low, and here what we are doing, we are preparing the field, we are opening the furrow and then placing these sets manually. Overlapping इसमें जरूरी होता है 10 to 20%. Now what you can do, there is another technique, bud chipping. That means you are just removing the chip through chipper. You are removing the bud and you are placing in pro tray. You are preparing the nursery और उस nursery को लगा रहे हैं, so that there is less handling of the canes. क्योंकि यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं कि पर हेक्टेयर जो है about 55,000 to 1 lakh sets जो हैं पर हेक्टेयर की रिक्वायरमेंट होती है, तो बहुत ज़्यादा बल्क हैंडल करना होता है. सो हियर अगेन व्हाट यू कैन डू फॉर बड चिपिंग, अभी यहाँ पे हो रहा है मैनुअली हो रहा है. यहाँ पे कोई सेंसर बेस्ड गैजेट हम लोग डिवाइस कर सकते हैं विच कैन रिकॉग्नाइज द बड, और बड को रिकॉग्नाइज करके वहाँ से उसको जो है मैकेनिकली निकाल सके. सो दिस इज वन एरिया वेयर आई मीन यू कैन से द सेंसर बेस्ड रिसर्च कैन बी डन. ये सेमी ऑटोमेटिक प्लांटर्स हैं. दिस इज रिगार्डिंग ओवरलैप. सेल्फ प्रोपेल्ड राइस ट्रांसप्लांटर, ये भी एक एरिया है जहाँ कि हम मैकेनाइजेशन लेवल इज वेरी लो, एंड हियर देयर आर टू इश्यूज. एक तो है क्वालिटी ऑफ पटलिंग ऑफ फील्ड एंड अनदर इज रेजिंग ऑफ मैट टाइप नर्सरी. इफ यू आर रेजिंग दिस मैट टाइप नर्सरी प्रॉपरली यूनिफॉर्मली, then proper transplanting will be there. Otherwise you won't be able to produce good quality nursery, और उससे जो है transplanting better नहीं होगा, missing ज़्यादा होगा. So this is again a researchable issue, how to produce good quality nursery, mat type nursery. We tried it manually. Mechanical device was developed, but यहाँ भी क्या है कि हम mechanically कर रहे हैं, but some kind of, if you are utilizing certain, you can say the smart gadget to spread the soil as well as the sprouted seed of a required thickness, तब इसको जो है हम properly कर सकते हैं. Otherwise it will not be proper to achieve this manually. Then spraying of chemicals. इसमें क्या होता है, blanket application is there, especially in the orchard. You can see we use foot sprayer and mist blowers are there. बट यहाँ क्या होगा कि जब भी ये गैप होता है, दो प्लांट्स के बीच में गैप होगा, यहाँ से जब हम व्हेन वी आर अप्लाइंग द केमिकल थ्रू आउट द ऑर्चर्ड इन ए रो, तो इसके बीच में भी मशीन रुकती नहीं है, तो इसके बीच का क्या होता है, केमिकल जो है इट गेट्स लॉस्ट. नो केमिकल, वी आर लूजिंग द केमिकल. तो यहाँ पे क्या होगा कि अगेन इफ यू आर यूजिंग सर्टेन स्मार्ट द स्प्रेयर विच कैन रिकॉग्नाइज द प्लांट and gap between the two plants or two trees, तो वहाँ पर रुक सकता है. For that what you can do, you can have machine vision system which can recognize the plant and gap between two plants, and you have, if you are having a real-time signal processing mechanism and real-time trigger mechanism, then you can save the quantity of spray material that or you can minimize the wastage, or you can stop the wastage. So here automation is required. So if you are doing research, if you can do this in this particular area, it will be a lot beneficial. Imaging technique can also be used in poly houses for plucking of the you can say the fruits or vegetables, as well as for recognizing you can say the nutrient deficiency. ये देख सकते हैं here automated sprayers can be used in some of the area, especially I have seen in IIH Odisha, Bhubaneswar. I have seen in that particular institute, horticultural institute, the orchards or the plants, they have been trained. They are in Y shape. so that movement of tractor or sprayer or mechanizing the operation, it becomes very easy. आप इधर से ट्रैक्टर मूव कर सकते हैं थ्रू आउट इन बिटवीन द गैप और आराम से कर सकते हैं बिकॉज मोस्ट ऑफ द ब्रांचेस दे आर इन वाई शेप. नीचे से ट्रंक से ऐसा किया है कि चारों तरफ नहीं इसके है, केवल वाई शेप में ये है. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट मोर कवरेज ऑफ केमिकल इज देयर इन दिस केस. This is automated farm tractors along with the machine. ये John Deere ने launch किया है. But of course, this is not, you can say it is not within the pocket of the Indian farmer. ये अभी expensive है, इनको लेना हम लोगों के शायद अभी मुश्किल होगा. Then use of artificial intelligence. This can be used for detection of weed, plant diseases, pest control, poor soil and crop nutrition, fruit vegetable sorting machines जो होती हैं, color sorters जो होते हैं, or graders, they are based on the artificial intelligence. बहुत quickly और बहुत fast कर सकते हैं. Then fruit and vegetable harvesting machineries, they are the artificial intelligence system. It recognizes the database. उसको पता चलेगा, उस डेटाबेस से कंपेयर करेगा whether the fruit or vegetable is matured or not, it is to be plucked or not. So it will decide it on its own. There is lesser, you can say, the human interference in this. Then robotic arms can be used. ये आप देख सकते हैं robotic arm है. This can be used for plucking of, of course, यहाँ पे cucumber के लिए दिया गया है, but not for the, you can say, the low value crops. You can use it for high value crops so that it is more profitable to be used. Then grain harvester जो combine हम use कर रहे हैं, if they are equipped with yield monitor, you can very well predict that how much yield you are going to get from that particular crop, and this will help in avoiding overlap also. This kind of combine harvester, they are being used in European countries or America, but not in our situations. Then Internet of Things, if you are having number of gadgets, number of sensors deployed in a particular field, then how you are going to integrate with your PC or with your laptop. So this is it will collect information, like if you are having for the soil moisture, if you are having sensor for the fertilizer, if you are having sensor for the weather data. So all those data will be integrated with your desktop or laptop, and that is the principle of Internet of Things, and that can be utilized in the agricultural system. Drone application in Indian, the government is focusing this particular gadget for chemical spraying, and under the submission of agricultural mechanization, government is providing 10 lakhs financial assistance to all the SAUs, all the agricultural institutions who want to purchase the drone. सभी को 10 लाख रुपए support दिया जा रहा है. Each KVK, every KVK is in the country is being provided one drone. Already इनकी training IRI में चल रही है और आगे भी होगी. Financial assistance जो है 75% उनको दिया जा सकता है, like NGO, farmer producing organization जो हैं, rural entrepreneurs जो हैं, those who are privately, they want to purchase up to 75% of cost, they will be supported. This is being done just to promote the manufacturing of drone indigenously, and two types of, you can say, the robots, drones, they are being manufactured, they are being used indigenously. One is Omni Agril with 01, you can say this is 2 kg payload, and Agril bought UAV, this can carry a payload of 23 kg. ये ज़्यादातर use हो रहा है. And government is also providing 6,000 contingency for those who are not purchasing drone. That means if you want to go for custom hiring, then you will be getting 6,000 per hectare assistant for operating those on farmers field. And if you have already purchased drone with financial assistance of government, then you will be getting 3,000 contingency per hectare for operation of that on the farmer field. So government is putting, on custom hiring basis, they are trying to push this particular technology on the farmer field, but this is limited to chemical spraying only. We are not taking other advantage of this particular drones. Then vertical farming is another, you can say, the farming of future. Because the space is being, or you can say the availability of land is shrinking. So because of that, you can go vertically. Hydroponics जैसे हो रहे हैं. So you need not to have real field. कहीं भी vertical जहाँ abundant field, you can say the property है. There also you can go. Even if you can see in foreign country, the height, you can say the rise buildings, their walls are being used for cultivation of the flowers and other, you can say the horticultural crops, you can say. वहाँ आप कर सकते हैं, and here you can use smart sensor-based gadgets to control the movement of, different nutrient or application of nutrient in this. I was going through internet and I found this particular bee vectoring. That means use of bees for controlling the disease. In this case, what they are doing, एक particular type का, मैं हिंदी में बोलना कोई प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं हो रही है किसी को?
No sir, no problem in Hindi.
इसमें क्या किया है कि एक पर्टिकुलर फर्म ने, इन्होंने एक पर्टिकुलर फंगस ग्रो किया है और उस फंगस को जो मधुमक्खी के छत्ते होते हैं उसमें रख देते हैं. जब भी कोई मधुमक्खी वहां छत्ते से बाहर जा रही है, उसके पैर से जो है वो फंगस साथ में चला जा रहा है, और जब ये किसी पर्टिकुलर क्रॉप में बैठते हैं, फूल पे बैठते हैं, तो ये फंगस वहीं छूट जाता है और उससे जो है उस पर जो डिजीज होगा वो फंगस उस डिजीज को कंट्रोल करेगा. दैट मीन्स यू आर यूटिलाइजिंग दिस वाइल्ड एनिमल बी टू कंट्रोलिंग ए पर्टिकुलर डिजीज. तो ये देखिए स्मार्ट एग्रीकल्चर का एक रियल लाइव एग्जांपल है. तो इस तरह की चीज को किया जा सकता है. बट व्हाट आई हैव डिस्कस्ड इन जस्ट फ्यू स्लाइड्स, ये सारे जो स्मार्ट कह लीजिए कि गैजेट्स हैं फॉर स्मार्ट फार्मिंग, मेरी विचार से अभी हमारे इंडियन फार्मिंग में या फार्म पे इनके दिन अभी नहीं आए हैं. मेरे हिसाब से अभी राइट टाइम नहीं है कि इन गैजेट्स को हम ज़्यादा यूज़ कर सकें. इनका सिंपल रीज़न ये है कि एक तो हमारे पास वी डोंट हैव एक्सेस टू सेंसर बेस्ड गैजेट और मशीन्स इजीली. देन देयर इज नो अल्टरनेट यूज ऑफ सच मशीन. अगर कोई फार्मर खरीदता है तो एक पर्टिकुलर यूज के लिए, जैसे ड्रोन खरीदेगा तो केवल एक पर्टिकुलर यूज हो रहा है, केमिकल स्प्रेइंग. ही इज नॉट ट्रेंड इन यूज ऑफ other uses of drones. So there is no alternate use of such the gadgets are implemented. Technically people are, of course the youth is very youth of today, he knows, he is technically sound, but farmer जो real farmer है जो काम कर रहा है, he is technically not very sound to use these particular sensor based machinery. हम लोगों को भी अगर कहेंगे कि आप सेंसर बेस्ड कोई मशीनरी यूज करिए तो हो सकता है खराब होने के बाद उसको हम किनारे कर दें, क्योंकि वी डोंट हैव रियल कैपेबिलिटी टू रेक्टिफाई दोज गैजेट्स. देन लो इन्वेस्टमेंट कैपेबिलिटी ऑफ द फार्मर. जो भी ये गैजेट होंगे नेचुरली इट विल बी एक्सपेंसिव, इसलिए ये प्रॉब्लम होगी इनको जो है ओन करने में. स्मॉलर लैंड होल्डिंग साइज, जब होल्डिंग साइज हमारी धीरे धीरे छोटी होती जाएगी, naturally we won't be able to deploy the expensive machineries or very sophisticated or very smart machineries. Of course one can go with custom hiring, वो कर सकते हैं जैसे कंबाइन हार्वेस्टर को हम लोग कर रहे हैं. बट अदर गैजेट्स लाइक ड्रोन जिसको कर रहे हैं ये कस्टम हायरिंग पे चल रहा है. सिमिलर काइंड ऑफ कस्टम हायरिंग अगर है then it can be used on farmers field. But individual will be difficult to, for individual, it will be very difficult to own those gadgets. In some cases, poor road connectivity, especially in hilly region, there is very poor road connectivity, so you cannot move because of difficult terrain, very steep slopes. आप कोई इस तरह का गैजेट या कोई चीज आप ले ही नहीं जा सकते हैं. देन नॉन अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ सुटेबल मशीनरीज, जो मशीन आपको चाहिए हो सकता है कि उनकी अवेलेबिलिटी बहुत ज़्यादा ना हो क्योंकि उसके मैन्युफैक्चरर कम है. सो देयर इज नो डेडिकेटेड मैन्युफैक्चरर. Sorry, here I have written for the hill implement, but it's true. But in hilly regions or hill farming, जो भी गैजेट्स की जरूरत होती है, कोई मैन्युफैक्चरर उसका डेडिकेटेड नहीं है. इफ यू हैव टू फेच फॉर ए पर्टिकुलर प्लाऊ, तो आज की डेट में प्लाऊ बनाने वाले नहीं मिलेंगे. ट्रैक्टर प्लाऊ तो काफी लोगों को मिलेगा, बट एनिमल बेस्ड, अगर एनिमल पावर्ड अगर प्लाऊ चाहिए तो आपको बहुत दूर तक खोजना पड़ेगा कि कहाँ मिलेगा. Then no proper after sales service and repair maintenance centers. If you are owning these particular sophisticated gadgets, then naturally you must have repair maintenance center or sales after service centers in your vicinity. Then only popularity of those gadgets will be there. Then what should be done? Economically simple and maintenance free precision machines should be developed, जिससे कि कम से कम जो है उसमें टूट फूट हो, रिपेयर उसमें इजी हो जाए और इकोनॉमिकल हो. देन ओनली द फार्मर्स आर एनी पर्सन हु इज एंगेज्ड विद फार्मिंग कैन अफोर्ड इट. देन मशीनरी बैंक, कस्टम हायरिंग का जैसे हमने एग्जांपल दिया, if this can only be operated through custom hiring by having machinery bank, so that people they are deployed there, they will be having technical backup और वो काम कर सकते हैं. They can help, they can do the job and then they can charge the money from the farmers. Identifying and promoting machinery manufacturer with repair and service centers locally, जहाँ पे बहुत दूर नहीं किसान को अगर जाना होगा, कोई मशीन अगर आप बहुत दूर जाना पड़े रिपेयर या उसके सर्विस के लिए, तो कोई भी उस तरह की मशीन को लेना पसंद नहीं करेगा. Promoting drone application in agriculture for plant protection and other you can say the operations. Encouraging local youth through training, क्योंकि जितना यूथ को जो फ्यूचर जनरेशन है, naturally they have to, if they want to take farming as a business, तो उनको जरूरी है कि उनको उन गैजेट से आप ट्रेनिंग दें, and then accordingly they will be trained and they can do their farming operation as well as they can hire their machineries for others work. Then promoting research and development and commercialization of sensor-based economical gadgets or machinery for various types of operations. Then strengthening SAUs and other educational institutions with sufficient funding for high-end research and manufacturing facility. ये क्योंकि बहुत सी चीजें अभी हैं still in the research stage, so for making it more कैसे a prototype बनाने के लिए या उसको एक फील्ड वर्दी मशीन बनाने के लिए यू नीड लॉट ऑफ रिसर्च लॉट ऑफ फंडिंग. तो ये जरूरी है कि इस तरह की व्यवस्था जो है, जहाँ भी एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन है, बच्चे उस पर काम करें. देन ओनली यू विल बी एबल टू डेवलप स्मार्ट कैन से द गैजेट्स और मशीनरी फॉर एग्रीकल्चरल ऑपरेशन. देन स्ट्रेंथनिंग एक्सटेंशन सर्विसेज विद स्पेशलाइज्ड टेक्निकल बैकअप. जो एक्सटेंशन एजेंसीज हैं केवीकेज में या दूसरे में, उनको भी जो है टेक्निकल बैकअप उनका होना चाहिए, नो हाउ उनका अच्छा होना चाहिए इन दीज गैजेट्स आर स्मार्ट मशीनरीज. देन ओनली दे विल बी एबल टू डेमोन्स्ट्रेट दोज मशीनरी ऑन फार्मर फील्ड. लास्ट बट नॉट लीस्ट, द लैंड कंसोलिडेशन और रीशेपिंग ऑफ फील्ड, स्पेशली इन hilly region you will find that the land size is very small, जैसे बताया था 0.28 हेक्टेयर, और डिफरेंट शेप के होंगे, इरेगुलर शेप के होंगे. तो उसमें क्या, जब भी इरेगुलर शेप का होता है देन द मशीन एफिशिएंसी इज वेरी लो बिकॉज ऑफ द नंबर ऑफ टर्न्स वो लेती है उसकी वजह से. सो इफ यू आर एबल टू रीशेप दोज फील्ड्स इन ए प्रॉपर मैनर, अगर उनका रेक्टेंगुलर शेप में हो सकता है या कई छोटे छोटे लैंड को मिला के आप बड़ा कर सकते हैं, देन दीज मशीनरीज विल बी मोर, they can be used economically and they will be more profitable to the farmers. मेरे विचार से these are some of the points. This could be, there could be much more, you can see the points. दूसरे लोग भी सोच सकते हैं. So this is all from my side. Thank you very much for paying attention.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot for this very, very informative lecture on this very important topic. Now, if anyone has any query, then I think Dr. Ravi Prakash Mishra from Roki wants to ask something. Sir, can we take some of the queries, 2-3 queries?
Of course, of course.
Yeah. Okay, Dr. Ravi, please go ahead. Dr. Ravi, please unmute yourself, and if you want to ask something, then please, you can raise your query. And if anyone else... Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Himanshu, for giving this opportunity to raise a question. Sir, very good lecture you have delivered. Wonderful information you have delivered. I want to know that, as we all know, that the farmers of India are mostly of small land companies. They are not financially enough stronger either. Then how relevant is mechanization for smallholder farmers?
Dr. Ravi, that's what I said, that the machinery about which we are talking, that these gadgets are use of AI or robotics or these kind of machineries, they will not be actually helpful. Economically, they are not sound. They are not going to own these particular machines. There is a difference between Indian farming and Western farming. In Western countries, the labor availability is almost zero, you can say. The farmer, the owner himself has to do each and every operation. That situation will never come in our you can say in Indian scenario. So these gadgets, in my opinion, will not find a place in real farming situation. ये चूंकि गवर्नमेंट प्रमोट कर रही है, कुछ हम बाहर से जो है इन्फ्लुएंस हो रहे हैं, and because of that reason we are talking about the robotics and this, because researchable, we can research upon these issues. हम अपने बच्चों को जैसे करने के लिए या थीसिस कराने के लिए हो रहा है, इसको तो कर सकते हैं, बट रियल सिचुएशन में इनको हम यूज नहीं कर सकते, हमारा फार्मर यूज नहीं कर सकता.
Thank you very much, sir. If anyone else wants to ask something, otherwise you can raise your query. You can write us on the WhatsApp group we have made for the participants, and we can extend your queries to the expert of the day. So thank you very much, sir. We are really grateful to you for delivering this very nice lecture, which was blended with the status, scenario, and the very important information about the agricultural machinery in India. You have also shown some very important and new area-specific machinery with the specifications. You have also thrown light on the smart agriculture very importantly. And definitely, sir, your contribution in the area of farm machinery and power paved a way for the future research. And especially, you have enlightened us with some very important information like bee vectoring and other use of AI and robotics and this drone technology for making agriculture smarter. So really, sir, we are blessed to have you on this session. And now I would like to request our co-chair, Dr. Ramesh Pal, to extend a vote of thanks on behalf of the organizing committee and all of us. Dr. Ramesh Pal.
Thank you, Dr. Trivedi sir. Very good afternoon, everyone. स्कूल ऑफ एग्रीकल्चरल साइंसेस एंड इंजीनियरिंग की ओर से आयोजित फैकल्टी डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम के 5वें दिन छठे टेक्निकल सेशन में आज की इस विशेष चर्चा में हम सबके बीच मैकेनाइजेशन, मशीनरीज फॉर स्मार्ट एग्रीकल्चर स्कोप एंड चैलेंजेस पर अपने विचार रखने के लिए आमंत्रित अतिथि के रूप में ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म के माध्यम से पधारे प्रोफेसर टीपी सिंह सर का विशेष रूप से मैं आभारी हूं, उनका धन्यवाद प्रकट करता हूं, जिन्होंने अपने व्यस्तम कार्यक्रम में से इस कार्यक्रम के लिए समय निकाला और हम सबके बीच इतनी महत्वपूर्ण जानकारियां दी. हमने बहुत सीखा है आज के लेक्चर से. सर, आपसे लगातार टेलीफोनिकली बात होती रहती है और आपका इतना व्यस्तम समय में भी आपका हमेशा यस आप कहते हैं, कभी आपकी तरफ से नो नहीं आया सर। सर ये हमारा सौभाग्य है कि हम आपका मार्गदर्शन समय समय पर मिल रहा है, चाहे वो सर प्लेटफॉर्म ऑनलाइन का हो चाहे ऑफलाइन का हो। सर आपका सरल स्वभाव हमें बहुत ही प्रभावित करता है, मोटिवेट करता है। आपका आशीर्वाद सर हमें मिलता रहे। आपने हमें पढ़ाया है और हम आपसे बहुत सारी चीजें सीखते रहते हैं सर। आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर। आपने बहुत सारी समस्याएं और इनके कारण और निवारण के रूप में विस्तार से समस्याएं और उसके निवारण सारी चीजें को क्लियर कर दिया है। हमने आज के लेक्चर में बहुत कुछ सीखा है सर। आपने आपके आज के इस टॉपिक में आपने, मुझे लगता है कि लगभग 2 घंटे होने जा रहे हैं, 2 hours गोइंग ऑन, एंड सर आपने टॉपिक्स कवर किए, मैन पावर, एनिमल पावर, पॉजिटिव्स ऑफ मैकेनाइजेशन, सिक्वेंस ऑफ मैकेनाइजेशन, मैकेनाइजेशन यूज्ड फॉर मैकेनाइजेशन लेवल फॉर वेरियस ऑपरेशंस, पराली जलाने की समस्या और उसके बहुत सारे उपकरण आपने ऐसे बताए। हिल एग्रीकल्चर बहुत सारी आप हमेशा डिजाइन में बहुत एक्सपर्ट हैं। हमने भी आज सीखा है सर, बहुत अभी भी सीख रहे हैं। और अपने यहाँ पर हम मास्टर डिग्री के जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं उनको कुछ ना कुछ लाभ मिलता रहता है। उनको आपके जो लेक्चर आपको हमें सीखने को मिलते हैं उनको हम आगे कन्वे करते हैं। सर न्यू एग्रीकल्चर इम्प्लीमेंट्स आपने बहुत सारे बताए। इंटरनेट ऑफ थिंग बेस्ड IoT बेस्ड सेंसिंग सिस्टम के बारे में आपने सर बहुत सारा बताया। ऑटोमेटेड स्पेयर्स बताया, डिजाइन बताए सर आपने, ड्रोन बताया, वी फैक्ट्री और टिलेजिंग से इम्प्लीमेंट से लेकर के सोइंग, हार्वेस्टिंग, थ्रेसिंग। सर आपने इतने कम समय में बहुत सारी हमें जानकारी दी सर। आपका बहुत बहुत आभार मैं व्यक्त करता हूँ। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर आपका। और I am also thankful to the officers of the university administration, Director School of Agricultural Sciences and Engineering, Professor V.K. Singh, Virendra Kumar Singh. Thanks to our additional director sir, Sri K.K. Bansal sir, all HODs, faculty members and participants of faculty development program. I present my sincere thanks to our university administration for organization of 1 week e-faculty development program on inclusion of innovative research in education for smart agriculture. I am also thankful to organizing secretary, convener and all persons who are directly and indirectly involved in this e-faculty development program. I wish you all thank you very much.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और ये अभिव्यक्ति एक कोचर के रूप में तो थी ही सर, आपके एक विद्यार्थी के रूप में भी ये अभिव्यक्ति डॉक्टर रमेश पाल की थी आपके लिए। और निश्चित रूप से हम सब भी अभिभूत हैं आपको आज के दिन पाकर इतने लंबे समय के लिए। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर, खूब खूब प्रणाम। और
I would like to thank you Himanshu, Ramesh and all the organizers from my side. Actually my camera is not supporting, so you may not be able to see me. वीरेंद्र जी को मैं देख रहा हूँ, वीरेंद्र सिंह जी जो सामने हैं मेरे। नमस्कार सर, आप लोगों से मुलाकात होती रहती है।
नमस्कार
नमस्कार सर। So I would like to thank each and every one of you, right from the organizers and participants, for giving me this opportunity or this platform for discussing on this particular topic. Thank you each one of you. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू वेरी मच सर। और हम अपने पार्टिसिपेंट्स को अगले सेशन की जानकारी दे देते हैं। हमारा अगला सेशन 3 बजे शुरू होगा और एक NDRI के वैज्ञानिक डॉक्टर मृदुल शुक्ला वो प्लांटेशन और कंजर्वेशन ऑफ इकोसिस्टम पे बोलेंगे। तो आप सभी से प्रार्थना है समय से रहें। डॉक्टर मृदुल शुक्ला हमारे साथ होंगे शाम को 3 बजे आज के अगले टेक्निकल सेशन में। तब तक के लिए आप सबको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।